Hi, Namaste Yogis. Melissa here from Mystical Stone. Welcome and thank you so much for watching. So today I want to talk to you about the chakras. What are they? Why should you care? And why you should work with them? So let's begin with the first question. What are the chakras? So the chakras are centers of energy that are located along the spine. Actually, we have many chakras, but I'm going to be talking about 7 major ones that are all along the spine. The first one is right at the base of the spine and is known as Muladhara chakra or the root chakra. The second chakra is known as Svadhisthana or the sacral, sacrum chakra, which is right below the navel. Then we have a third chakra, which is Manipura or the solar plexus, and this one is located below the sternum. The fourth chakra is at the center of the chest at a heart level and is known as the heart chakra or the Anahata. And then we have the Vishuddha chakra, which is this right at the throat and is your throat chakra. The third eye, Ajna or Ajna chakra, and the crown of the head, Sahasrara or crown chakra. But what are they? Centers of energy, like what do you mean? Chakra means wheel, and you can think of it as a wheel of energy. I actually made something for you to help myself explain you a little bit better. So you can think a chakra like a spinning wheel, and what is moving this chakra is the flow of prana. Remember that you access prana through your breath. When you're breathing in, you're getting that pranic flow that infuses your body with life force, and this is what it helps the chakras moves. When you exhale, you release all of the stuff that you don't need anymore, which is this apanic energy. Apana is the release or the cleansing part of the breath. So there is this beautiful relationship between prana and apana. You nourish your body with that inhalation, and then you release what doesn't serve you with every exhalation. Chakras move with that flow of prana and that release of apana. But actually, it's prana. When you breathe in, you can think about the pranic flow moving or spinning your wheel, like. So when the flow of prana stops, so does your chakra. So this was a way just that I thought it would be easier for me to explain. So let's just put this guy over here. There it is. And so you can think about centers, 7 major centers along the spine, the one that I have just mentioned. And they all have a different meaning and they all have a different effect. So why you should care about the chakras? Because when you work with them, when you are aware of what effect they have in your body, you can control a lot of what you feel, your psychological state, but also your physical state. For instance, when you work with Muladhara chakra or with the root chakra, you're also addressing the base of the spine, the genital area, your legs, and your feet. Very often when Muladhara is out of balance or is blocked, as they say, that can manifest as psychologically feelings of not being safe, not being secure, not being grounded, always being up in your head, thinking or wondering what lays ahead, or maybe still stuck in the past. So that is going to get you out of the here and now. Physically, it will manifest with either pain or an injury. Sometimes we cause injury to ourselves. Usually Muladhara chakra is related to our self-confidence that helps us to move forward. So when we are not feeling safe, sometimes we create illnesses that slows us down. You can think about when you hurt your knee, your foot. This prevents you from taking a step forward. And when we're not feeling safe, we just stay static, right? So Muladhara will affect those parts of your body, and psychologically, it will make you feel unsafe. It won't make you feel good. Not just physically, but also financially. So if you're always struggling with your finances, then you must work also with your Muladhara chakra. Then and it's represented with the color red. Then we have the next chakra, which is the Svadhisthana chakra. So it's right below the navel, and this is also known as the sacrum or sacral chakra or sacral chakra. And this one will work with your emotions, your deep emotions that you have collected over the years. Thoughts, ideas, trauma, regret, pain, whatever it is that you are holding on to, but you cannot deal with it on daily basis. It is said that we collect it and we put it in the drawer of the soul. They call this area, the pelvic area, the box of the soul. And it is also your source of creativity. When you work with your sacrum chakra, you also work with your intuition, with your connection to the whole, with the cosmic wisdom. You can think of it like your unconscious mind connects to the collective unconscious. Now I'm referring to Carl Jung, but you can think of all of that information that comes to you. It comes from the universe. It comes from this cosmic stream of knowledge and wisdom. And we can connect to that through our unconscious mind. Therefore, when you dream, sometimes you get amazing ideas. When you are at your waking hours is when maybe you get the best inspirations, and then you get your coffee, your day keeps going, and then it's gone. So it's really a good idea to write down your dreams, to write down what you think when you are just opening your eyes, because that is the juice of your unconscious mind. And sometimes the conscious takes over, not sometimes, the conscious mind takes over, because we need it to analyze what we're gonna do, or just to be functional. So then we push away all that inspiration to the back of our head. So working with Svadhisthana can really help you to awaken your inner genius. So if you are somebody who is creative, crafty, or you want to be creative, it also rules your sexual impulses. So it's all connected. So when Svadhisthana is out of control, you may experience problems with this region, urinary problems, your internal organ, lower back pain, hip pain. All this area will be the one that will manifest physically. Then we move a little higher to the Manipura chakra. And Manipura chakra, or solar plexus, is below the sternum. This is your power center. Manipura chakra is all about your inner power, your fire. We all need fire. We all need to awaken that heat within ourselves, but we have to be careful not to go overboard with it, because we can burn ourselves and those whom we love. Because when we have too much fire, it can come out as anger, it can come out as explosive behavior, and we really want to be able to control that. We want fire, but we want to be able to contain it. Because once again, this is your power source, and you do want to keep your power. Think about it, like if you give away your power, then you start dimming your own fire. And all of the emotions, when you don't show up for yourself to the world, then your light goes so small. We start feeling undeserving of goodness. We start feeling that, oh no, I should just care for others, but never for myself. And if you care for yourself, you feel guilty. And we just get into this cycle that is harmful for ourselves, but also for those who are around us, because then we start feeling depleted and we start feeling resentful towards others. And it's just because we have chosen to give our power away. There's always a choice, and sometimes we are conditioned to be that way, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can turn it on when you need extra fire, extra energy, but you can also tone it down when you don't. When your breath goes, think about it, really fast breathing, it will rise your fire. There's actually a breath known as breath of fire. It rises up the heat. If you have too much heat, it can manifest physically as heartburns, a lot of acidity in your body, or you can really feel it, not just in the way you behave, but in the way you physically feel. If there is not enough fire, then you're having digestive problems. You're not able to digest your food because you need a little bit of acid to break up the foods, but not so much acid that you start feeling too hot, too much, all right? So that is your Manipura chakra. Then we're gonna move a little higher to the heart center. So at a heart level, at the center of the chest, you have your heart chakra or your Anahata. Oh yeah, by the way, Svadhisthana is represented with the color orange, then yellow for your Manipura, and then green for your Anahata chakra. And here is where we cultivate self-love, self-compassion, understanding, forgiveness, and so that we can offer it to the rest. And it's an easy thing to say, but oh goodness, it can be very, very hard. So if you are dealing with a lot of sadness and lack of confidence, and you're dealing with a lot of these things, you're gonna start noticing it physically. And your body starts collapsing and starts pushing the energy down. If you don't deal with your emotions, you will have to put them somewhere, and it usually starts going down into the box. That will later on become a problem. So your Anahata chakra, you do want to work with it because that is what is going to bring back your spark, your joy. And physically, it will affect your heart, it will affect your lungs, it will affect all this, the rib cage, it will affect your arms. Whenever we're working with our arms or moving our arms, we're also working with the heart. So all this area is going to be about the heart center. And then we move a little bit higher with Vishuddha chakra, or the throat chakra, represented with the color blue. And this is all about opening up to our inner truth with love, because you know you will have it very, very open when you're maybe saying a little more than you should, or the opposite, maybe you don't speak up when you need to, or when you do, it comes out in a different way that you meant it. So it doesn't really connect to the way you feel and the way you express. So we want to connect that so you can still show up for yourself and speak up your truth, but always with that compassion, self-compassion, and still compassion to others, but then just really finding that balance. And also it's a really good chakra to work with whenever you are having a big problem saying that little word that is so hard for many of us. You know which one? N-O, no. Many of us have a hard time with that, with boundaries. So working with throat or with Vishuddha, with the throat chakra, will help us with that. It can affect our throat, of course, infections, irritation. It can also affect the thyroid gland. So very important to work with that chakra, and we're gonna get to how to work. Now I'm just telling you what they are, why you should care, and why you should work with them. Now we're gonna go a little higher to the third eye, the space between the eyebrows, the Ajna or Ajna chakra. This chakra is the one that is like lifting the veil, and you can see beyond your physical eye. This is what is going to really help you to connect with your inner wisdom, with your, they call it the higher self, the Satguru or inner teacher. And you really want to get that connection with yourself, because there is already so much wisdom within yourself, and it's only whether you allow it to come up. It's a hard thing to do because sometimes the inner voice tells us to do things that we might not be ready for, so we start dismissing that voice. And remember, you don't have to act on it today, but it's important to understand what that inner wisdom is trying to tell you, because it's leading you towards that place that will be more in line with your heart's desires. So really important to work with the third eye. It is also a great way to keep you safe. You know, it goes back to the same thing. You know, when you get to one place, you enter and then you feel like, oh, I think I shouldn't be here. There's something weird going on. And sometimes you know, you look around, everybody seems to be happy and enjoying and smiling, but there's still something within yourself that says, I shouldn't be here. If you listen to it, maybe later on you find out that something went down and it was good that you left early. And when we're not connected to that inner wisdom, we dismiss these messages. We say, oh no, because we have no proof. So then we stayed, and then something really goes down, and then you think, I knew I should have, you know, should have gone when I got the message, but you know, you don't have that good relationship with your inner teacher. So working with your third eye will help you to do that, to get that strong relationship with yourself. And once you get that, you can access to that whole cosmic wisdom that represents the crown chakra or the Sahasrara. So Sahasrara chakra or crown chakra is all about your connection to the cosmos, to the universe. Like, you know, when you get an idea, an inspiration, it's not only about archetypes and old information, things that have already been done or said. No. This is timeless information that we have access to. You know, all those people who are always working at a higher level with their higher planes, they get amazing ideas that today we can enjoy. Like the fact that I am talking to you right now, by the time you're listening to this, if you stayed until this point, by the time you get here, I don't know, maybe I'm sleeping, maybe I'm teaching a yoga class at the studio, who knows? But it's timeless, we can still connect. Someone had an idea to connect us at that level. It's so amazing that today I'm here and tomorrow I can be in Mexico or I don't know, somewhere else. So it's so amazing that someone had an idea, ran with it, and today we have access to things that were unimaginable, that they couldn't be imagined before. Sometimes I make up words or sometimes I change them, so bear with me, please. I'm trying. But yeah, so that is why you want to work with your Sahasrara, because you want to have access to all of this information and you can get all these downloads of beautiful insights that are available to all of us. It's just that we don't, for whatever reason, we choose not to go there. And remember, when we align all of the chakras, is when we can truly feel ourselves connected to our inner voice and connected to others. This is not only about me, but it's about the whole. It's about oneness. And all that sounds very, very nice, but it's a hard process. So just because the following classes where we're gonna work with each of the chakras doesn't mean that after the class you're gonna be like, oh, my chakra is all balanced. No, it is a process, and we do want to do the inner work, write down our insights and explore and ask questions. Why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? Whatever, and just really start learning more about the self. And another thing that I wanted to mention before I wrap it up was, just because a chakra is manifesting very obviously doesn't mean that that's the root cause. Example, if you know that your throat chakra is closed and you are having a hard time to speak up and to, you know, say what you want to say without fear, doesn't mean that your problem is the throat. It can be that the problem is below, like it goes down. It cannot be like, it usually is that it goes down. You gave away your power and now you're having a hard time reaching up to that extra courage that you need to speak up. Or it can be that for a long time you have been feeling ungrounded, you don't feel safe and supported, therefore you don't feel that you should speak up, you choose to quiet down. So there is a lot that goes on with the chakra. Just because one is giving you the alert signal doesn't mean that that's necessarily the one. That is probably the symptom. It's like when you hurt your elbow or your wrist hurt. So unless you had an injury, sometimes it's not even the elbow or the wrist. Sometimes the problem comes right from the bigger joint, from the shoulder. Same thing with your knee. Sometimes we have knee pain and the pain doesn't even come from the knee, it comes from the hip. So it's all connected, and just like your body that works like a unit, so is your energy that it works like a microcosmos. So never forget it. It's a microcosmos, but it's also connected to the whole. Color, blue, indigo blue, and purple. I forgot about the colors, but I'm going to show you how to work with each of the chakras. So check out the video so you can see more about them. Each of them have a specific sound and a specific element, and you can address them in very different ways. And I cannot wait to see you there. Thank you so much. Namaste. Hey yogis, thank you so much for staying with me until the end. If you're new here, remember to subscribe before you go and press the bell button so that you can get notifications every time I upload new content. If there is anything that you would like me to talk about, please comment below and I will be thrilled to hear from you. Thanks again. Namaste.